Hi, let's do the review of the 60 marks of the income tax paper for the June 2024 attempt. Now, according to me, I would suggest that this is a medium level difficulty level paper, though there is more sums. So those people who had not prepared it from a practical point of view, they would find this paper more difficult than the ones who had studied the practical, that is sum solving. Now let's see the first question. Now, for most students, when they see the first question itself, they would get a little scared considering that the question is very long. However, I'm just showing you the length. And after this, you'd be like, oh, the first 4 pages is only question number 1. Okay. However, if you actually see, the question is not that difficult. Okay. So let's see. Bajrang is 50 years old, a resident, and he is engaged in the business of textiles. And his wife Usha is employed in ABC as accounts officer. She furnishes you the following details. Okay, so this is all information that they have given. So if I just see the question, the first part, it will strike you that this is all income from salary. Okay. I'm just writing what head. Okay, then this is contribution, that is money paid to PF. Okay, and then this is again bank FD, and these are the FDs. So this will be income from other sources. This is payments made. Sorry. This is contribution. So can I say this will be under section 80C? Okay. Then they also have some turnover from retail garment. He does not maintain books of accounts for it. So basically, this will all be his income from other sources. Rent from vacant land. Okay, now this part. Rent from house property at Chennai let out to wife. So this is income from house property. Areas of salary, this will be income from salary. Received from ex-employer. Sorry, this is not. This will also be income from house property. Income from other sources. It's not an employer. Okay. Gift received, income from other sources. Now, eligible amount brought forward loss. So this is your set off. Sold a vacant land. This is all vacant land. The vacant land was acquired on so and so date. Okay. He deposited in under 54 EC. So all of this you should know will fall under income from capital gains. Now based on this, now see, calculate the capital gains in the hands of Bajrang, and this is for 3 marks. So simple this is, you'll take selling price minus index cost of acquisition. Okay. What is the cost of acquisition? The vacant land was acquired for 2 lakhs, index it. Now, other than that, so you will get your capital gains. That capital gain, if you want to save on capital gains, whatever you get, okay, selling price minus index cost of acquisition, you can save it by under 54 EC. So you will get that exemption. Whatever is left will be the taxable capital gains. Okay, now see here, calculate HRA. HRA very easy. Let's go back up. So you require basic dearness, okay, and HRA received per month. Now this is Chennai, so you will take 50%, okay, because it's metro city, so you will get that. HRA is easy. Okay, compute the total income. As an assumption, he has not opted for the scheme. So they are not asking you tax, they are asking you for total income, all the 5 heads. Income from salary, you already done HRA here. Income from house property, okay. Then he has a let out property to his wife only, so that will come. Income from capital gains, income from other sources, all of this will come here. Okay. Let me see. Textile from retail. He does not maintain books of account. Whole of the sale is received in cash. Since it is said that he is into textile business upstairs, so he will take this as your income from business profession. Okay. Now all this you will do, and you will get your 5 heads of income less the deductions, and you will get your income from total income. Now if you have done this, this will come similarly the same way. Again they are saying just find the income. Only thing you have to do here is not take the deductions. Simple. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Sanjay has house consisting of 2 identical units. One is SOP and the other is let out. So one is LOP through the financial year. Municipal tax paid for the whole house is 70,000. So you will take half. Okay, the house property was, it doesn't matter whether it was paid in cash or kind or whatever. Okay, municipal tax. So you will take your GAV less municipal tax will give you NAV. Okay. Now the house property was constructed. Now NAV for SOP it should strike you will be 0. For LOP you will take based on the rent. Now the house property was constructed after taking a loan. So interest on loan will come. Now interest on loan it should strike you if it is for SOP. There is a limit of up to 2 lakhs. Okay. And if it is for LOP there is no limit. And over here also you can also take for loan for pre-acquisition period. Okay. The house was constructed by SOP on 1st July. The construction of property. So the loan is taken in 2020 and the house was ready on 30th March. So you will take date of loan taken to find pre-acquisition period. Pre-acquisition period. Date of loan taken less 31st March. Date of completion of construction. So you cannot take 30th March here. You will take 31st March 2021. Okay. Date of loan taken 31st March 2021. So from 1st July 2020 to 31st March 2021 will be your pre-acquisition period. Whatever is the period you find the interest for that period, you divide by the interest by 5 to get the pre-acquisition period interest. It's not difficult. This is also easy 5 marks. Now Geeraj had purchased a residential site for 22 lakhs. On this he converted the asset. He purchased a residential site and he converted into stock in trade. So there is one own asset that he has and he converted that asset to stock in trade. This when he converts it there will be capital gains. There's transfer of asset. Okay. Now this stock in trade when he sells, okay, it will be business profession income. Now let's read. On this date the stamp duty value was 28 lakhs. The asset was sold by him on 25th June for 34 lakhs to an outsider at arm's length price. The stamp duty valuation was 40 lakhs. Brokerage was 2% on sales value. So basically you will take two types of calculation. One is he purchased it for 22 lakhs and he converted into stock in trade for 28 lakhs. Okay, so you will take book values over there. The asset was sold by him for 34 lakhs. Okay, so in business profession you will take selling price minus cost price. So selling price was 34 less 28 will be income from business profession. Okay, and this is cost. This is also easy 5 marks. Following a provided for two individuals, Umesh and Suresh. This is what they have given you. He is a non-resident. Okay, if he's non-resident, let's see what they are saying. Gross receipt, not cross. Gross receipt is 72. This is the breakup. Okay, plying, he's into plying of heavy vehicles, and this is brought forward loss. Now over here, nature of activities retail trade, so this is simple. Long term capital losses, there he can take a deduction and benefit of this. So this is under your income from business profession. We had done it even in our lectures when we did marathon lectures. We had covered these two. Easy this is. If you know the provisions, you'll be able to do it. Okay. Now, Lakshmi is a resident retired pensioner. Her income details are as follows. So, this is all that she is earning: pension from government. Then there is family pension that she is getting. So, you'll have to take one third. This will be income from other sources. You'll get deduction of one third. Dividend from Indian companies, interest on money borrowed, and interest on money borrowed from investments, interest on money borrowed for investment in shares, consultant fees for portfolio. So these are all expenses. Interest on money borrowed, agricultural income from land outside India. So all of this. Now since she here it is saying she has opted for 115 BAC. So in that case, this deduction she will not get. Okay. Rest all of it you will do normally. Okay, now let's go ahead. V and Company's proprietorship in manufacture of engineering product. It had purchased a machinery for 10 lakhs, which was immediately put to use. During the previous year, it purchased the following assets. This is one of the easiest sums, I would say, easy 5 marks. This is opening, at purchases less sale will give you closing WDV. From there, you figure out how many assets were used up to 180 days, less than 180 days. Okay, more than 180, less than 180. If over here, whatever is less than 180 days, you'll take half depre. For everyone else, you'll take full depreciation. Machinery 15%, you will take 7.5% depreciation. You add it, you'll get it. Easy. This sum was one of the easiest sums. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. Ramesh, working in ABC, draws the following amount of salary: basic, commission. Okay, all of this. The company has given him a housing loan on which it charges interest of this much. The entire loan is outstanding. Okay. Now, if this is the SBI loan, so 3.5% per annum is going to be added to his income as a perquisite. So this is income from salary. Again, easy sum. All you have to do is just add all the benefits you've received from employer. Okay. Now these are theory questions. If you go to see how many theory questions are asked, 15 marks is max theory questions. Rest all are practical. So out of 60 marks, only 15 marks if you go to see were theory questions. Okay, so 45 marks were practicals. Now, what are the provisions for clubbing of income of minor child under section this? So basically, clubbing of income of minor child, you get a deduction, the parent, of 1500 per annum, and mention cases where minor child it is taxable in himself, where he is earning on his own skill, basically if he is an actor, etc., and if he is handicapped. Okay, explain the provisions relating to advance tax payments. So advance tax payments, when it is applicable, when your tax is 10,000 per annum or more and its due dates under Income Tax Act. This is also one of the easiest questions. State the person who has to sign the income. These are one mark, more like a theory. When individual is unable because of his ill health, if it is the HUF is not available, then who? So these are easy questions. Okay, but those who are more comfortable with sums, there is an option over there. So you could have attempted all 60 marks of sums in this paper. Following is the PNL account of Vinod. So there is profit, gross profit, you subtract all the expenses. Okay, so this is the net taxable profit basically. Okay, now if it strikes you here, this is agri income, PF interest, these are not real incomes actually. Depreciation allowable is this much, so you will subtract the depreciation that is allowed under the act, that you will add back. No tax was deducted on interest paid to NR, so if there is no TDS is deducted to NR, then this amount will become untaxable. Amount of 25,000 due to MSME relating to purchase of goods in December was outstanding. It is pending beyond the time mentioned under MSME Act. So now if the MSME amount is due and it is not paid, in that case this amount will not be allowed as a deduction under Income Tax Act. Okay, provided they have taken action for it. Now these are some things that you had to know. This was also, in fact, this is also a very easy sum to solve. Okay, briefly, this was a 5-mark sum. Briefly state the applicability of TDS and effective rate. So rent, what is the TDS applicable? Yes, TDS will be applicable. Okay, then call center charges, whatever. Then over here, then agent commission, director sitting fees, each paid to 5 directors by Rama, but it is hardly 20,000. So this is also direct TDS question. Okay, then Tina is a Indian citizen holder of Indian passport. For the past 7 years, she has been living in Dubai where there is no tax. During the previous year, she migrated to India on 1st Jan. In immediate 4 earlier years, she has stayed in India for 56 days. During the previous year, she earned gross salary of 9 lakhs. After she returned to India, her friends gave her a grand reception and she got so much of cash gifts. You are required to determine residential status. So all of this is not relevant. You have to just see number of days of stay. Okay, as per section 6. That is it. And we are done. So this is your chapter. This is your paper. I would say all in all it is not a difficult paper if you would have attempted. I understand some people are not confident about the sums and whether the answer is correct. However, even if you, let's say if your one entry is wrong, okay, but if you're like, for example, over here for banking channel, this is your 44 AD sum. For banking channel, 6% gross receipts. For non cash, it is 8% gross receipts. Now all of this, you might have made a mistake over here, still you will get marks for your steps, for at least if some entries are correct. So you need not worry. Like if you have done this was again a compulsory sum, all your heads of income are there. Your salary might be right, income from house property may be right, other sources may have gone wrong, but however you will get marks for that. So I don't think you need to worry. And for those who are attempting for the next attempt, I would suggest that whenever you're doing the sums, whenever you're doing the chapters, do theory and sums together so your concepts are clear. Okay, thank you everyone.